What's up guys, Chris here with another fairy tale manga chapter review, and sorry that I did not cover chapter 107 during the last chapter. I had a lot of stuff going on and I had no time to record a review for that chapter, so I wasn't able to get any videos out at that time, so I fully apologize for that. Also, if it sounds different for this video, I'm recording in an entirely different place in my house due to complications, as I am recording this late at night and everyone's asleep and I don't want to bother them, so I had to go to an entirely different room in the house. So sorry if things sound a little different, but hey, I'm here for another chapter review as I do want to get some fairy tale out, and I've been enjoying this and you guys seem to have enjoyed chapter 106 review, so here's hoping I can be more consistent with these videos. Well, before I get into the actual chapter, don't forget to like and subscribe and hit the notification bell for updates on future videos. It really does help. Also, don't forget to check out my Instagram and Twitter for updates on future videos as well, and just to see what the hell else I'm up to. And with that out of the way, let's hit that intro and start the review. So before I get into chapter 108, let me give you a quick recap of 107 since we kind of skipped over it. In chapter 107 we had the full-on battle between Selene and Ignia, and it was a very intense battle, full-on dragon action, as it seemed pretty even at first throughout the fight. But as Natsu was watching this battle, he was getting flashbacks of the battle between Ignia and Acnologia. And I like how he still has like PTSD to this particular moment in time, and it still rattles him. It's been 2 years, well over 2 years since that moment. The death of his father still lingers over him, and that's something I really like because it hasn't really been mentioned at all during the story past first battle against Seraph in the Alvarez arc. So that's something I really enjoy, and it gives more depth to Natsu's character. And he just flat out, after having that PTSD moment, that memory of Ignia losing to Acnologia and dying, he shouts out to both of Selene and Ignia to stop fighting. And Ignia actually acknowledges Natsu's worries, thinking, I reminded you of Ignia just now, didn't I? Well, don't worry, I'm a lot stronger than him. And then Ignia takes that moment to cheap shot Selene and blasts her right through the chest, seemingly killing her, or basically just ending the fight right then and there. Which is where chapter 108 comes in, the Earth's Awakening. And we start off right afterwards with everyone reacting to Ignia's, brutal attack on Selene. Selene goes down and Ignia questions Natsu. Beating the 5 dragon gods was your motive, right? You should be happy that I killed one of them for you. Or were you on Selene's side as well? But Natsu says it doesn't matter to me who takes down him or Selene. He just doesn't like the killing of comrades and it makes him sick. But Ignia corrects him, saying that they weren't comrades to begin with and he only had one real comrade. And then a voice appears to talk to everyone out of nowhere, out of thin air, and Selene seems to recognize that voice as the very labyrinth begins to shake around everyone in Fairy Tail and Diablos that are still in the very labyrinth, as we're all noticing that shaking and seemingly falling apart. And I like how Loxus's group manages to meet up again with Kieran, and he goes up and asks to basically battle Loxus again so they can settle the previous battle, since this is, the ending of the labyrinth seemingly, and it's no better place for him to end it. So Virgo takes Lucy away as Loxus takes on Kieran, and I like that Kieran and Loxus are having this intense stare down, as this is basically a battle between the strongest of both their guilds, and Loxus is like, when you put it like that, there's no way in hell I'm gonna lose. We cut back to the upper ground of the labyrinth, and we notice that the voice continues to say that it's been 100 years and you still consider me a comrade, hey Ignia. And Ignia just smirks as Selene fully recognizes who this voice belongs to, as the ground rises up as she questions Doggermog. The ground itself shakes and morphs as the Earth Dragon God appears from the ground in a nice 2-page spread. I have to say, I'm not super enthralled with this dragon design. It's kind of generic, something that you would expect of a creature that makes up a labyrinth and everything, but overall it's a pretty decent design. I liked it. But yeah, I like how Doggermog and Ignia basically have a little back and forth like they're old friends. I mean, Ignia even stated that he was his old friend, believing that Doggermog wasn't dead this entire time, as he jokes around being like, why would I visit the grave of someone who's still alive? And hell, Doggermog manages to use Elemsir's heart to, keep himself asleep for all these years, so he wasn't dead. But he created a labyrinth for a particular reason, which we'll get into by the end of the chapter. And they even call themselves brothers, showing just how strong their bond is and how much they deeply respect each other. And then Doggerman says that it's finally ready, alluding to the plan that he and Ignia came up with, which is something that I still want to think of, because they're talking about the start of a plan that will create a paradise, or their new era or whatever, and Ignia says that they'll meet at the promised place. Doggermug tells Ignia to go along as he wants to warm up. He doesn't have his full strength yet, because he wants to take on these tasty humans that are in the labyrinth he's created. But Ignia says, fine, do what you want, but under no circumstances are you to kill Natsu. He's my prey. And Doggermug acknowledges, so this is the one that Ignia raised. I get it, no wonder you don't want me to kill him. And I like how Ignia continues to say, on absolutely no circumstances, you can do whatever you want to him, just don't kill him. Because he wants to show Natsu the world that they're going to create. As Ignia flies off, Natsu tries to chase after him, but Doggermug blocks his path, stating that he's going to have to go through him if he's going to go to Ignia. But he says that he can read Natsu like a normal book, as it kind of seems like Natsu is like, if only I can stop Doggermug, I can go after Ignia. But Doggermug says that the result's going to be the same either way, and that there's no way Natsu can beat him, as he then begins to shape-shift back into his human form, saying that he knows how strong Natsu is. Plus, he's gained a ton of knowledge from Elefsir's heart over the past 100 years. Doggermug changes back to his human form, saying that he can use his real power right after waking up, but Natsu might actually be a good match for him, as we get Doggermug's full design in his human form. And as I prefer his human form to his dragon form, it looks a hell of a lot cooler, and I can't wait to see a full-on brawl between Natsu and Doggermug. I feel like Suzaku's going to have some sort of role in this fight also to team up with him, but overall we're going to be looking at a fight between the Earth Dragon God and Natsu. Anyway, Doggermug also tells us this nice piece of information that he didn't just create the labyrinth, but he's also a labyrinth itself. As we end the chapter back with Elefsir, as he is still alive and ponders what's going on. Doggermug used Elefsir's heart, his own heart, to be the catalyst for storing his life force in order to sleep and not be dead. But what is the purpose of the labyrinth as we end the chapter? Now, the labyrinth is definitely going to have some kind of role to play in the future of the story with Ignia's endgame, but I don't know what it's going to be. It could be a new era of dragons. They could revive Acnologia, that's a popular theory, but there's still a lot up in the air that we don't know yet, and I'm very curious to see what's going to happen next. And I like how we were told that the sixth Dragon God was dead and he created a labyrinth from his dying body, and it's ever changing, but it never really made sense that if the body was dead, why would the labyrinth change from this type of magic as if it were alive? And it makes a lot of sense that the core of the labyrinth, which is Elefsir's heart, was where Doggermug stored his own life energy so that he could revive himself whenever he saw fit for when something was ready for their plan, which had something to do with the information and magical power that Elefsir had stored within his heart within this labyrinth. So I'm curious to see what's going to happen next with all this, because it's probably going to be something huge. But yeah, we're setting up for a battle between Natsu and Doggermug, the Earth Dragon God, and we're having a rematch between Laxus and Kirin. These two fights are definitely going to be going back to back within the next few chapters before this labyrinth arc ends. I'm curious to see what's the whole thing with Kirin's coffin and seeing Laxus go all out against Kirin in this rematch. I feel like it might end in a more of a draw instead of like Kirin like overwhelming Laxus like it did previously, because that's tended to be how these fights go. And Laxus already kind of knows how Kirin fights, but he still doesn't completely know how Kirin's magic fully works. So he'll probably figure this out in his next fight. Now, Doggermug I'm curious to see, because he's called the Earth Dragon God, so we can expect something to do with the Earth. Maybe minerals, diamonds, soil, rock, etc. Anything that can come from the Earth could be something to do with his magical powers, and I'm very curious to see what he's going to be able to do when he fights Natsu. But overall, a really nice chapter. No action, but I like how we get the little bit of bickering between Doggermug and Ignia, showing just how close they are, and that Ignia does view him as a friend and as a brother. They have a really nice respect for each other, and I'm curious to explore that more and their backstory. I want to know their plan. I want to see this fight play out however it is, and I like the twist that the sixth Earth Dragon God that was supposedly killed over 100 years ago was actually alive this entire time. Now, Mashima likes number 7, so it's very possible they might introduce a 7th Dragon God, and that's probably who they're going to revive or create or whatever. But yeah, I'm curious to see what's happening next. I'm hyped. I'm loving for 100 Years Quest more and more as the story progresses, and it keeps getting better and better. But what do you guys think? Leave your thoughts and opinions down below on Doggermog's reveal. What do you think they're up to? What's their plan? What's the true purpose of the Labyrinth? How do you think Natsu's going to fare against Doggermog, who is, as he stated, not at his real strength? Do you think they're going to be even? Do you think Natsu's going to get overwhelmed? Do you think Suzaku's going to help him out? And also let me know what you think of the Kirin Loxus fight, how that's going to play out next. And for the future of the story, leave your thoughts, opinions, and theories down below. And once again, don't forget to like and subscribe and hit the notification bell for updates on future videos. It really does help, as I do want to start doing more fairy tale reviews and other videos related to fairy tale 100 Years Quest. So please let me know that you enjoy these videos. And if you want to support the channel more directly, don't forget to check out my Patreon and my Ko-fi accounts to support the channel more directly. I got a lot of things planned for the future, and this could really help the channel in the long run, so don't forget to check that out. Now with all that said and done, hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope you all have an awesome day.